Namaste, Galactic Family. Welcome back to the channel IndigoAngel. Come on into this dimension. Come on into this Vatican remote view that we got going on today. Welcome back to the channel IndigoAngel. Come on into this dimension. Come on into this Vatican. We got some back lag going on. We got going on today. Is that on your end, Noko?
I don't know. Let me see.
Okay.
Did it
It wouldn't,
stop? Yeah, I
it
did have.
stopped. It stopped.
Okay.
Okay.
I had my YouTube on, so it must have just automatically went.
Well, come on into the channel, guys. We were running a little bit behind today because we seem to be getting a lot of interference with coming into this remote view today. I think, it's just the nature of this 5D reversal Stargate that it does seem to push forward resistance, push forward, I think blockages and seals in which, want to kind of separate us from being able to look deeper into what's occurring. And so, yeah, I've been getting actually a lot of frequency resistance upon coming into my lives lately. And I do kind of attribute this to just the state of the world at this time. But this has been definitely a highly requested insight and deep dive and look into what's going on. I've been getting kind of a lot of messages from quite a few of you to look deeper into what's occurring here at the Vatican. And I just want to give a shout out to Noko for joining me today. She came in on the fly. She came in last minute. I did have Felix, who was originally scheduled to jump on with me to do this remote view, and he just had some things that came up and he couldn't make it last minute and messaged me and said he couldn't come. So I said, that's okay, don't worry. And called up my girl, my bestie, my right-hand man, and I was like, do you want to jump in on this Vatican remote view? And she is like, yes. So thank you, Noko. And how are you doing
Happy,
today?
happy to. Yeah, honored. It's divine, right? Because as soon as you reached out to me, it was like I had already had a compilation of Pope intel to send you, and I had been sitting on it for like a month. So it's so interesting that, yeah, it's divine, and yeah, it just continues to pour in here as we set that intention today earlier. So I'm excited, and I love when I feel resistance. I love when I see these things that try to stop us because it literally fuels my fire. And I think it's important. It's something that is a part of reality in this 3D world that we do all need to know happens, and nobody is, what do you want to say, completely safe from it because it is just intertwined into the technology and the tools that we're using. So, yeah, it's important to really, you know, be here and show up and speak our truth regardless of the pressures. So that's been the message.
That's right. And I just want to say to speaking our truth, I think, when I messaged you this morning, I kind of came in with this feeling of that pushback and that resistance where it was like, I feel like this topic, this timeline, kind of where the merger points of duality is coming into these crosshairs and these points in terms of the collective energy that I'm feeling everything is just very heightened in sensitivity right now. There are a lot of sub variations of triggers. I think there's a lot of splinters. There's a lot of fractures and fragmentation. There's a lot of separation that's occurring. And so it's just heightening uh, all perceptions across the board. And I think there's also a lot of fear programs that are running through the grids right now, that those are inflated. Those are really, expanding up from the 1D, the 2D to 3D. And I think people are in a kind of an uncertain place just with the overall lens of the world and what's unfolding in terms of current events, what's unfolding in terms of the separation and division and unrest between countries, between borders, between the global New World Order agenda, in which we can clearly see is literally uh, revolutionally, that's a word, revolutionarily playing out before our eyes. And also the agendas, I think, to push forward a one world religion as well. So it's not just a new world order, but I think there's agendas behind this to fuel and rage the holy wars, the holy fires, and bring forth an ideology of a one world religion. And so there's a battle playing out on the forefront for that. And you can see this disruption and this disrest fuming between the brotherhoods of the Abrahamic religions. And I mean, when we talk about the propagation of World War III and what's occurring, all these possibility timelines, this uncertainty and this unknown timeline in which is opening its gates, opening its doors like the holy doors. Um, I think it's, you know, for one, I see a lot of people wanting to take a step back. Like, I don't want to go there. I don't want to look at it. I want to stay in my bubble. I want to protect and shield. I don't want to let that energy in. It's too painful. There's too much going on. I just, I don't want to look. And so I think this is the basis for our conversation is where do we start? Where do we begin? Because we see that happening and what we're feeling as intuitives, as empaths, and as, you know, veteran grid workers, we'll just say that, not to toot our horns or anything, but we've been doing this for a while. We feel a pressure to actually stay rooted right now in reality. Not that we can't go into the higher timelines and, access enlightenment and do our spiritual work, because we should be doing that simultaneously, but we feel kind of like this need to be vigilant at this time and be more aware of what's going on in reality because there is this underlying pressure that's coming up to the surface. What do you think about that, Noko? You explained it so beautifully earlier.
Yeah, this has been a theme for me big time. I just started kind of jumping back into reflecting on my music, and my music is a lot of where I speak my truth. And so I've been being called back to this place and looking at why haven't I been making music and what is this blockage? And part of that entanglement is a little bit of an internal battle with like, okay part of what made my music and what was my expression was my truth and my ability to share this lucidity with the masses. And I feel that along the way there's been a little bit of a ceiling put over me of like, okay, love and light, right? And I am love and light, and I am living of my highest timeline, and I am fully connected to my highest self and great spirit. And part of doing that work is, working through the shadow, is, speaking the truth that other people are maybe asleep, or too like you just said, too shielded or trying to protect themselves from seeing some of these realities that we do need to be aware of and that actually help us to align to our highest timelines. Because without this knowledge, without this information, we may not make the proper choices, right, to get to that place. So I just think it's super important, and it seems to be a theme that I've witnessed of, those of us just feeling a little bit of pressure to not speak about reality and about the truth and about what's going on. Or if we're getting guided to, share these messages, we're feeling a little bit of pressure around it. How do we do this? How do we balance this? And
Right.
so, yeah, so I thought it was really timely for you to reach out about all of that. I'm excited because I'm looking at my music now in a different way and seeing, um, how and why I can, kind of develop this into the next chapter of my music, still bringing truth, still bringing, lucidity, while also it's that duality thing, while also still staying high vibrational when needed, right? So it's a fine balance.
It's a fine balance. Yeah. And I think that's so great that you're trying to move past those blockages to bring forth your music. I just want to give a quick shout out really fast to everybody coming in. Thank you, everyone who's saying hello in the chat. Quick shout out to Joe Oregon Bubbles, Nick KP74, Light Activator from North Carolina, Claudia, Melinda Crocker, Luke Johnson, typical skeptic. Hey Rob, how's it going? And Lady Jefferson. We have Cheryl in the house. Um, yeah, that's the thing, guys, is uh the sensitivities right now are so high that I think many that are truly, sensitive to anything of darkness right now, anything of shadow, this may not be maybe the remote view for you to tune into. I just want to put like a disclaimer out there because as we kind of drop into this gate site and we start remote viewing this, we don't really know for sure exactly what's going to come through. I can tell you when I was remote viewing it last night, because I was already starting to tap into the field, I was immediately getting taken into the shadow elements of it, the shadow dimensions, what's kind of festering up underneath the surface, what's being hidden in the unseen, in terms of the golden eagle grid, the Achillean matrix, the war horse, all of these things. So some of that might come up and to be, it's going to come and move through us. I think what we'll do is when we get to those points, Noko, we'll just run clearings as we, approach or kind of like energetically will, systematically work to dismantle and anchor light, bring in light, try to clear as much as we possibly can. But you guys see the picture that I have up here. I guess this is the door. So you guys may know that Pope Francis is going to be opening 5 sacred portals on Christmas Eve for a ritual that's never been performed before. And I want to say this isn't true. It's not true. This is being performed. And they do this every 25 years. It's considered a jubilee or a holy year that's performed. They've been doing it since 1423. And but this is the first time it's happening where I guess they're adding another door. So typically it was 4 doors in the past, and now they're opening like a new door that's never been opened in St. Peter's Basilica. Um, no, I take that back. They said that the holy door, they're going to be actually opening it in a prison. Yeah, there's a prison that they're doing this in, and they're doing it because they want to show the prisoners to have faith, to that new doors can be opened essentially. Like one of the doors is at St. Peter's Basilica, but one of them is also in a prison. I find that kind of strange. I don't know, where they kind of made this decision, but this is what they're saying. And this door that you're looking at in the picture, I think this is pretty significant. So I researched bronze doors in St. Peter's Basilica, and they're saying that the bronze door, that this was actually sculpted by Giacomo Manzu. They call this actually the Door of the Dead. They call it the Door of the Dead. It was considered a bronze door, because it was intentionally and traditionally used as an exit for funeral processions. Um, so there's a lot of cross, I think, of duality. There's a lot of cross of light and dark when it comes to the meanings and the symbolism of these doors. And so I think this might be the significant thing about this. I can tell you a remote view that I did on the Vatican back in 2022 is doors, frames, lenses, visual perceptions. And you have to understand that the Vatican, like, worships doors, lenses, frames, anything that represents a portal. We have to think that the fact that they're even using the frame or the term portal for this, they're letting you know this is not just a 3D thing that's coming in for peace and it's only this thing. And they're using the term portal, they're really saying like this is an interdimensional thing that's playing out. This is an interdimensional crossing of energies, spirits, entities, timelines, realms, world systems, Earth's dimension. So they're opening 5 portals. And really, I feel truly from the previous remote view I did, I seen when I went deeper into the layers that they had actually 12 portals, 12 gates that they functioned from, and that they these gates and these doors were, when I seen them, they were lit on fire. They were actually holding back priests, and they were holding back uh, their gatekeepers, which were there, in energetic form and spiritual form, and they were guarding these doors of fire. So they know that the doors are on fire. They know that there's pressure coming through the doors, right? When it comes to the dimensions in which the Vatican hosts and serves. So there's probably a need to open these doors. There is a need to release the fire or to release the pressure in what is building up underneath and through them. And
Mm.
so when I say doors are significant to the Vatican, it's because they believe, in verses of the Bible that these doors signify the coming to Jesus Christ. Like the door represents salvation. It's a rite of salvation. I mean, that in itself almost feels like it's placing a seal or taking the hands out of the individual to seek Christed consciousness and their own connection with Christ, and kind of place kind of like a, well, no, wait, you have to go through this gateway. You have to go to this door for salvation to even get to Christ in the first place, which is through the Catholic Church. So come on in, you guys, come through us.
Mm.
Do you see what there's almost like a luring, there's almost like a grooming, there's almost like all of the incest and pedophilia that's stringing along with this, and then also the esoteric occult ritual that's occurring. Rituals are it's a psyop essentially, in which allows people to give their consent to the offering of this ritual under the guise or the deception of the archons, to bring them forward into something that they don't even know what's happening, but they've given their consent to it. So that's kind of what I see, the underlying fundamentals of this is playing out. How are you interpreting it?
Yeah, you brought forward something that really goes hand in hand with what we were just talking about, with speaking truth and lucidity, and why it's important to stay grounded in earth and still paying attention to what's going on here, right, around us, because they have to disclose, right? This is like part of the law. This is part of the natural law. Like they have to do disclosure. So you say they're using the term portal, that's a disclosure, right? And this is part of why it's so important that we are paying attention. It's like, oh, you don't want to watch the news all day, but guess what? The disclosure is in there. You're receiving the information that you need to not consent, right? Because otherwise you could easily, if your discernment isn't in alignment, if you're not in the right place, you could easily be, led into a space and that's what they do. They lure people. They use this, the Bible, the scripture, and their terminologies. They use this as a way for people to give consent. And so, I think it's super important that we tune into these things and we realize this and we share this, because not everybody is as astute and not in a, not in a shady way. But like you said, some people are just trying to stay away from that type of energy when meanwhile you need this information, right, to know how to move forward. And then looking at that door, you said 12 doors. The first thing I saw were those beetles, those little beetles there, or that's what they look like to me. Um, and it had the kind of the 369 thing going. I was 3 3 3 3, and sure enough there were 12 across the each one. If you looked at that, there were 12 of those, and it was very significant to me to look at those. Yeah, and there's something there, I think symbolically, with those little insectoids and these doors. Not sure exactly where that's going to lead us, but that's what came through for me.
Well, right, because we know there's 12 gates total, so they're just opening five technically. I wanted to go back to, okay, so what I was saying earlier, the fifth holy door will be located at the Roman prison of Rebibia and will be opened on December 26th. So yeah, they're going to be fundamentally opening the doors. Like they're going to open, I don't know if they're just going to open one door on Christmas Eve and then just fundamentally open another one like every day or every other day, all the way till it looks like December 29th.
Mhm.
But yeah, so the holy doors are located at St. Basilica and Vatican, but the one that is the big one, I guess, is the one that they're doing at the prison. And it's an invitation for prisoners to look to the future with hope and renewed sense of confidence. Um, that's just kind of interesting. That's just kind of strange. Now, when we talk about consent, you sent me this picture, Noko,
Mhm.
of Pope Francis confirms plan to visit Turkey for 17th anniversary of historic Nicaea Council.
Mhm.
And we know what the Council of Nicaea is ultimately about. You can see how all of the biblical programs, all of the patriarchal domination and control, all of the fish gods and all of the squid gods and all of this really just lines up with the draconian Stargate activation that's happening on the planet. I mean, we know that the 10th Stargate in Abadan, Iran is essentially activating with all of the black heart lines and links of doom. We know that there's very significant points along that way that run up the Archangel Michael ley line that's running up to the Vatican. And so it's kind of like a funnel, like a magnetic funnel that's kind of pulling all of the triunal unholy wars really into this 5D reversal gate at the Vatican. But this is significant because, we know that the Council of Nicaea was when they originally, altered the sacred texts and altered the sacred books and took things out and left out sacred books and certain texts. And really, at the base of it, what was left with the Council of Nicaea was really none of the original writings of Christ, none of the original words of the original essay manuscripts that, Christ's teachings aren't even really actualized through this at all. It's been completely tampered to create a particular perception in which I feel very significantly runs in the antichrist and the anti-life codes. I do feel that this is what's activating right now is the antichrist. I'm not saying the Pope is the antichrist, but that within the three Abrahamic religions and what the holy world wars are raging over and why there's wars through something that's supposed to be so sacred and blessed is because it's reversal life driven, it's antichrist driven. It's because what was the teachings of Christ was ultimately taken and altered. And here they are celebrating this. Here they are, hey, right after we open these portals and we let all of the demons out from hell, we're going to go celebrate why the demons are coming from hell in the first place. I mean, it's absolute hypocrisy. It's absolute insanity. It's absolute bloodthirst. It's absolute betrayal of Christ himself. And I mean, I'm just appalled, honestly. Like I'm just um looking forward to clearing as much as we possibly can as we kind of dive into the remote view. But there was one significant video that I wanted to share with everyone that this lady made on X. I'm going to try to share it. I don't know if the volume is super good, but it's explaining kind of what's going on. It's like it's about a 6-minute video, but she's talking about where the doors are being opened. It's actually a necropolis. These gates that they're opening are running down to I'll call them sacred tombs, but they're basically tombs. They're opening doors to tombs. And from the looks of they're opening up the Luciferian tomb, which goes even further down, that they're claiming they're going to be setting up video cameras all around Lucifer's tomb. It's really interesting. So let me try to pull this video up for everyone to share. As long as the volume works on it, right? Because we were having some difficulties here a minute ago with the volume, but we'll see. Everyone can let me know.
Yeah, people may just have to turn their volume up for a bit while you play it.
Okay. And I just want to say, you guys, I mean, some of you may be not a fan of Elon Musk. I know we're all kind of really undecided about him and his intentions for humanity. But I have to say, I have grown fond of the platform X as it does seem to be kind of uploading. It's like free speech. It's more free speech that there's things that people are allowed to post and talk about the real world stuff that's going on. So it's like I've been getting live action news updates, all the time now that I've got on this platform that, we can't even talk about on YouTube. So I'm finding it as a very significant source at this time for information for what's really going on in the world. And when we talk about the vigilance that everyone is kind of needing at this time to be aware, there's so much. Like I can't even get on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok anymore because I'm like, what is this? It's literally clown world. It's freaking circus world is what it is. It's literally the disillusioned world that people are so tapped out of what's going on. It's just like, oh my gosh, it's saturated in sickness. And I'm actually feeling sick when I get on to look at, all these posts of Kim Kardashian and it's just you can see how separated, the fundamental principles of revelations and revolution and how this is moving through the timelines within humanity according to what we're experiencing through social media, how separated it is from what's actually occurring. And so, yeah, I just want to vouch for that. But let me see how this goes. Drop it down in the comments if you can hear this, guys.
I'm not hearing it, Indy.
You're not hearing it?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, see if I could go back to my audio settings really fast. How about now? Still can't hear it?
Mm-mm.
We've been having this issue every time we do Zoom, getting the sound to work on it. So I'm just looking at my audio settings for just a second. See, original sound maybe. Okay. Let me know if you can hear this now. This is like the last setting that I even know to do.
Nope.
No sound?
Mm-mm.
Okay, well, I'll just explain it then a little bit because I'm really not sure I'm going to be able to get the sound. Um, because there's a picture here. So these are the tombs.
Mm.
And then this is actually, so the doors, where the doors are being opened, she's pointing to them. And then as you go down below, it's pointing to how Lucifer's tomb is underneath it. Yeah, she's showing, so she's pointing here where the gate is being opened to the door of the first tomb. And then as you look deeper down, there's Lucifer's tomb. And then there's where Lucifer's tomb is located. So basically, they're opening the door up here. And then right below it is where Lucifer's tomb is located. So, I mean, a lot of people have been kind of deep diving this already, like pulling everything, doing all the research. So I think that's just really interesting. That's really significant that they're doing this ritual, they're opening these doors, and this is leading down to what's up underneath these grottos because, technically the Vatican was built on a cemetery. I mean, this is really what's underneath it is tombs to all the saints, all the bishops, I even think, right, St. Peter, wasn't he like the original Pope, the one that was crucified upside down?
Mm.
St. Peter's Basilica.
Mm.
All that is says, please share the name of the person who's posted this. Okay, let's see if I can even. Well, if you guys want to follow me on X, I'm posting things on here. And this was okay, it's from Blake S. Taylor Investigations. Yeah. Let me see if I can even copy the link here. Throw it down into the chat. So you guys can go look at this. But yeah, my volume never works when I try to screen share. But I think it's just significant that it's just showing, all the things that they're really not wanting to show the world as to why they're doing the ritual in the first place. They're not really kind of being forthcoming. And I think it's negligence on the Vatican's part. It's definitely some form of um, I think it's a psyop. I think it's a mind control program. It's a spiritual soul sucking control program, which is a harvesting. They're basically looshing, I think, through this ritual in its entirety.
Mm.
But
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I was getting, especially about the whole prison and jail. Like, what a place to focus, right? Like a portal. I mean, it just it feels there's no coincidence there. It feels very intentional to access some of the souls that, are at their very lowest frequency, if you know what I'm saying.
Hey, bringing in the grief, bringing in the loss, the separation. Now, I don't doubt it that people that are sitting in prison aren't having a very, hopefully soul searching connection with God and really, bringing that in. I think a lot of people that go to prison eventually find their way to that because I mean they're in there to be thinking about what's happened and occurred and so I mean it brings them back to their consciousness and to their spirit and their soul. But yeah, um they could be honoring the children right now that are the genocide that's occurring. They could be honoring um really everything that's occurring in terms of the loss of life and the loss of the feminine freedom on the planet, and what's happening over in the Stargate 10. They could be honoring essentially a lot of other things that I think are very imperative at this time, other than to be focusing on opening a door to a prison. I mean, that's just right. You can see how the focus is just so misaligned.
Yeah, it's with intention. That's such a vulnerable population to be, yeah, to be doing that with. I mean, and talking about the demonic, right? If they're opening to demons, and it just seems like yeah, prey, it seems like they're preying on those people that are in that prison, so those souls.
If you guys want to go over to Red Pill Drifter, Vatican portals create sigil of Lucifer. So this is another thing too. There's a lot of talk about Lucifer. There's a lot of talk about the Antichrist. There's a lot of, you know, opening this portal to Lucifer's tomb. And then, there's these coordinates that they've decoded from St. Peter's Basilica to Roman prison to Basilica St. John Lateran to Basilica St. Mary Major and Basilica of St. Paul. And these coordinates to all of the places that the doors are being opened creates the sigil of Lucifer. So that's another thing. They're kind of creating this geometry that is in representation of the Antichrist. I mean, now I know that Lucifer also, see, according to the Vatican, they see Lucifer as the light bearer. They see that like he's the bringer of light, he's the bringer of peace. Um, I think it's just been so I think it's another implant. It's the fall of man implant. It's the fall of man programming. I think that's ultimately what they're running is they're aggravating that fall of man guilt. They're aggravating that the descent of the 200 watchers and the fall of man, all the 200 angels coming down on Mount Hermon. There's a reason why that aligned at the same time as the coming of this ritual. I think it may be some sort of offering to the fallen angels really, and some sort of honoring of the fallen, concepts of humanity, the fallen spirit of humanity, and running a lot of these triggers psychologically because it's a reversal portal. Everything's kind of running ass backwards. So everything that you think it is, it's always going to be the opposite of what it actually is because the reversal energy. So yeah, I'm so happy that people are doing the deep dives to look deeper into the symbolism and the geometries because I think it's definitely revealing, you know, what's happening. And honestly, I kept getting a lot of the messages that the Antichrist is already on the earth. The Antichrist is already here. The Antichrist is already working through the lower dimensional old Earth timelines and old Earth systems and is capitalizing off of this right now. And so we truly are seeing like the holy war is the battle between Christ versus the Antichrist. I mean, and you can see, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious what side the Vatican sits on.
Mhm. Yeah. For those that have eyes to see, right? Mm.
Oh my goodness, guys. So yeah, we have a lot of comments coming in and through here.
So you
Whew,
have
let's
this
see.
charted, Indy. Where is that prison? Do you have that on there?
I don't have it on my map. We can go back to this other picture if you want to look at it. Let's see.
I was wondering location wise.
So it looks like Vatican City here, considered St. Peter's Basilica. This looks like I do believe that oh, Via Parco de Roma. I think this one is the prison, if I'm not correct. Roma prison, Rabibia.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's what I was looking at.
They actually don't have it labeled on the map. Uh, it looks like it's probably over here. If I had to guess, it might be up towards this way. But yeah, that's strange, right? Super strange. See if there's any more maps here. Well, so I think that's why it's so significant that maybe we do this remote view and we kind of anchor ourselves down into the area. And I think we should just work to clear things as we work on down and through. Whatever we see come up, whatever we see come through. Those of you watching, if you want to drop it down in the comments and just let us know if you even see things or feel things as we move through this. I think we will probably start by just setting a lot of protections and shields. Yeah, I need to change my audio settings. I'm re-looking through the comments. Yeah, I know. I keep playing with those darn settings and they just literally, I don't know, I can't get the sound to play on it. Okay, so followed me on X. Awesome. The coordinates of each portal coincidentally create the sigil of Lucifer. Yes. All of that. Is there anything we can do as a collective here on this channel preemptively? Yeah, so well, preemptively, we're definitely gonna set some shields. We're gonna clear our energy before we move on in, down, and through. It looks like Noko's using some of the Syrian Starseed Activator. I think that's a great idea.
Yep. Yeah, this one has eucalyptus, lime, rosemary, and lavender with the lapis and the turquoise. See, that's the truth serum right there.
I think it's really significant that we work with we work with the guardian energies, we work with the celestial guardians, we work with the angels, and we just kind of make sure we really shield, fortify, and protect and upgrade our fields before we drop on in. We just want to, really be protecting the 12th dimensional soul body blueprint. So yeah, if you guys want to go along with this remote view and this grid deep dive with us, just make sure that you're sitting comfortably wherever you're watching. Okay, and Noko, are you feeling ready to drop in?
I'm ready. I've actually just set some theta frequencies for our remote viewing, so we are good.
Okay. Well, let's just start by closing our eyes and we'll just take a couple of nice deep breaths. And through the breath, let's just clear everything we just spoke about, everything that was coming through, everything that we were talking about. Through our breath, we're just clearing our mental fields, our emotional fields, our spiritual fields, our physical body. our energy body, our soul body, our light body, just breathing in, clearing all fear programs. Okay, any mental thought forms of propaganda, mind control, anything of deception, we're just breathing this out of the body, through the body, just releasing through the breath, expanding into our energy body, into our auric body, our astral body, our causal body, our holographic body, our universal body. Just upgrade, 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 and just expand this all the way in, around, and through, and just making it accessible for the viewing today. Activating our pillar of light. Just rising up and shifting and lifting up into that pillar of light as if we're really allowing ourselves to move into the lucidity state, allowing ourselves to move into the float state. Expanding that pillar of light all the way into the 12th dimensional solar body, all the way into the metagalactic core, all the way into the divine, unconditional, eternal love source fields. Ooh, and even as I did that, I just started to see like the eternal, it's like the gates of the God worlds was opening up, connecting us right into source, right into the divine creator, right into mother, father, God, divine feminine, divine masculine Christ. Just tune in and merge this down through our pillar of light, just aligning us to the 0 point field and the harmony template of the planet. Just see ourselves bring that light down through our crown chakra, down through our root, running that light all the way down into the diamond star core spirit body of the inner earth divine mother energy fields, crystal fields, consciousness fields, just merging our pillar of light here and just balance and check, balance and check, balance and check. Drawing up some grounding energy and frequency, drawing up support and belonging from the spirit of the earth, bringing up unconditional healing, and this unconditional force field of protection that's just swirling all the way around us 360 degrees, expanding out in light, sealing and protecting our light body field as we work our way down to remote view the Vatican. And I'm just going to call out right now to any negative spheres or orbs of consciousness, any negative entities, any Luciferian entities, invader energies, satanic forces, Draco forces, reptilian forces, invader negative ET forces. We do not consent and we rebuke, we rebuke, we rebuke. Just making sure that any sort of infringement or entanglement into this session work, that everything can be very clear through the Christos lens. Sealing and protecting the field, calling forth the guardian shields. Okay, calling in the celestial guardians with coalitions to protect and serve humanity of the highest good. Bringing forth the double diamond shields, placing them around our body, front and back, up, above and below. Setting double diamond shields at the 4th dimension, 6th dimension, 10th dimension, 12th dimension, 22nd, 24th, 36th, and 48th. Activate all guardian shields now. Upgrading heightened levels of protection. Breathing in and breathing out. And I just want to kind of call in the reinforcements of the guardian stargates of the earth, anchoring us into the 144 dimensional guardian stargate in Kauai, Hawaii, and just activating this to this remote view today to pull in the highest creation energies and the highest protections of the guardian energy on the planet. Calling in the peaks of Shambhala and the God source fields and the ascended masters, Buddha, Shiva, Yeshua, calling them in now to guide us through this remote view. Okay, wow, really feeling charged right now. Noko, how you feeling? Charged?
Yes, very charged. I got like a whole shower of just golden light. It was beautiful.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
let's just anchor this down and coming in from all this light. Wow, it's like I'm feeling the just as we're immediately starting to drop into the Vatican here. Um,
Lots of angelic assistance with us today.
a lot. It's like all of the angels of earth are coming in. Wow. Um, the angels of healing, the angels of rescue, repair, and serve, the angels of healing, the angels of love, the angels of water, the angels of air, the angels of earth.
Yeah, the angels of truth and the angels of justice.
And immediately as we're doing, and you brought this in, okay, I'm seeing that there's definitely like the scales coming forward, the balance of justice, the scales, the goddess of justice, the almost like the lady, looks like a Lady Liberty, but like a cosmic Lady Liberty, and she's coming forth and showing that justice is being served on a cosmic level of universal laws. And then I see that being anchored down into the universal template as well. And then I do see them running this through Washington, D.C. So it looks like, yeah, the cosmic laws of justice are flooding down through, it looks like DC, London, and the Vatican. Looks like running and clearing, and it looks like it's almost a merging, not a resistant force, but a force that's running down through the Archangel Michael ley line. Yeah, bringing this justice code down and through. I'm seeing, I'm just going to draw a line. Yeah, running all the way down through like this, down into the Temple Mount. Yeah, so I'm just seeing like timelines of balancing, timelines of the dark having to surface, having to rise to be ran through cosmic laws, and that cosmic laws are like ordering a review of laws. They're ordering a review through the draconic systems and through the draconic Templars, running them through the holy gates. Dropping back down into Rome. I was just putting that line on there to kind of give an example of where I was a little bit off. I was trying to draw the line, but essentially through the Archangel Michael ley line, going all the way down to the 10th Stargate. Dropping back down into the Vatican now. Okay, so what I was immediately getting when I was coming up, what almost felt like through the ground, maybe coming up underneath versus dropping down. I was coming up underneath. I was starting to smell like rotten eggs or even like sulfur smell. Like it was like almost like I can see where the 666 gate systems and wormholes and Inishmore, certain points or coast off the Atlantic. I can definitely see there's almost like a funnel or a vacuum or a portal coming in through New Jersey, running into the Aquilan military forces. Um, Also seems to be coming down from the Bermuda Triangle. And then, yeah, I can see points of Spain. And then I see all these contention points from, yeah, Berlin, Germany, London, parts of France, Paris, France, that this is all like bringing some sort of, it's like a 666, like almost like a vacuum or like a hydra or even like an octopus that's kind of, it's coming from multiple ley lines. And I'm hearing the words Jesuit ley lines, Jesuit ley lines. Collapsing and dissolving, Jesuit distorted templates, collapse and dissolve 666 nefarious forces running through the ley lines. Reclaiming sovereignty over the ley lines. This is running me down into sacrificial camps of Auschwitz in World War II. So yeah, they have some type of like time passage, um, and almost like a connection, almost like an anchor into the World War II is like some sort of reflection. It's almost like a timeless propaganda field of the Nazis and Hitler, like that's being casted forward through the projection of the timelines. This is saturating the monadic field of those that are existing within the Archangel Michael ley line. So there, it's almost like through that, I see CERN activating with this, and through that, they're pulling through like a false holographic hologram of reality, and they're overlaying like false holograms to basically, I guess, distort perception or alter perception so that what you think you're seeing playing out isn't really real. And then they're inserting it through the frames, they're inserting it through the doors, they're inserting it through the gates to alter all of the ties to the perception of time, connecting to World War II, connecting to the 666 gate, and then altering the ley lines themselves to run some form of enmity through them, invader codes through them, enemy patterning through them, sacrificial Holocaust memories to reincite fear and to reincite uh, the remembering of this. Yeah, that's triggering all this like anti-Semitism codes to run through the Vatican passageway, and then I'm getting the Islamophobia. It's like all of the yeah, like the projections of uh trigger words. It's like they're running like countless trigger words through that to basically incite all these like post-traumatic stress disorder codes within the bloodlines. I'm just breathing in and through this.
Yeah, I received a message in regards to a tunnel, an underwater underground tunnel, um, that would link up the US to Europe. There's something with these portals and doors. It's all connected to, and it's very strongly connected to New York City. So when you said New Jersey, I was already kind of over in that realm. Mm,
It's like there's a lot of chords. There's multiple chords. There's multiple energetic affiliations. There's like thousands of them running across the Atlantic, thousands of them tied, and it's yeah, tying history, it's tying past lives, it's tying the war codes, it's tying the fall of man programming, it's tying the Black nobility lines and leaks together, and they're like living energy cords that are running through the Atlantic. I don't know, I'm just seeing like thousands of them. Um,
yeah. And there's some connection into actual tombs, into actual connecting in where people have been laid to rest. There's something purposeful there physically. Mm,
I almost see that maybe we got to cut the cords through the Atlantic Ocean as if we can yeah, just call forth the powers of Source to cut all negative and nefarious cords tying old rulerships together, old dictatorships, old negative patriarchal brotherhoods with energetic connections that are funneling everything into the 5D reversal stargate. Collapse and dissolve, collapse and dissolve, collapse and dissolve, collapse and dissolve. Cleansing the waters of the Atlantic Ocean. I see Mother Mary's energy coming forward. Oh my gosh. She's huge. She is like almost like the size of the planet. Like she's just walking through the Atlantic waters, just dipping her fingers into the waters and just illuminating um like the veils of deception. She's just like bringing purity codes through, bringing the white cosmic universal light of purification through the waters.
mm,
Wow,
mm.
that's a beautiful presence. It's a beautiful force that's coming forward. Wow, okay.
And I have to bring in this jaguar energy that's in connection with her. There is this strong feminine, like big cat energy, like protector energy, and this ability to seamlessly journey through both dark and light. This balance that we were talking about earlier. There's really this beautiful codes coming through in releasing those cords of the allowance for more balance and for humanity to be able to see that they don't have to be, all one way, that they are, you know, creatures of duality here in this realm. Mm.
Yeah, and even as you say that, I see that going through like the core of division. It was like all of the Christed light was like rising up from all these significant organic gateways that are still intact, and it was just running through division and separation and hostility, barbarianism, savagery, cannibalism, um, invasion, just everything that's of a brutal force. Like we're just, yeah, this is, I feel like we've really got the higher codes here anchored as it's cleansing here through the Vatican and the Archangel Michael ley line, clearing all deception running through this ley line, all division, all unrest, all scarcity, and I guess the primordial fear of survival. Cleanse and dissolve, cleanse and dissolve, cleanse and dissolve. Yeah, I feel that really working down through our sacral and our root chakras. Like it's coming through, I think, for the whole group here. Just releasing deeper levels of fear.
And just bringing in these codes of bravery and courage for everyone to really nourish their bodies with and be able to move forward in their missions with these new-founded um, understandings of what they're here to do and what their tools are, their voices, their hands, being able to write and create, their hearts being able to love, like really just tuning into the space where they can be courageous and brave and who they are. And that is definitely empowering those lower chakras big time.
I do see like a cord though that's coming down from the root, and it just seems to be tying so much of the ancestral monadic field because I feel like I'm going into the monad in which like there's like a collective genetic alteration. Like you can see the alterations and the manipulation of um, genetic modification. And it's like that Atlantean timeline's pulling in and through where it's been modifying, the slavery, the enslavement, the force of this. And then I see that kind of anchored as I'm going deeper down into the Vatican. I feel like I'm entering a necropolis. I'm entering the necropolis in which honestly looks like a pile of skulls, like as if the Vatican is built on top of a tower of skulls. Um, yeah, and then that's where the sulfur and the egg smell comes back in again. Oh my gosh, yeah. And then I can see it following systematically through the tombs underneath the layers. And then the skulls are kind of like yeah, building this tower, but it's like it's taking me, well, I can see it's like under the Tower of Skulls, but then around there's like mini necropolis valleys of like cemeteries. Um,
Yeah, it feels like a distortion of death, honestly. I mean, in where it's supposed to be, this organic, natural process and just distorting it into, again, how they tend to invert everything, right? And then it creates the grief, it creates the sadness, it creates loss and this need for a resurrection.
right, like there's some sort of puppet master down there. Like that's kind of like directing which doors are getting open, directing which gates are getting opened intentionally to kind of allow souls from the underworld to come up and clear and pass. I see like there's something inverted with the doors. There's something where everything's running opposite, in that the doors that are getting opened are to signal war versus to open to signal peace, that they're running like a reversal pattern because it's a reversal 5D gate. So everything's opposite in its meaning. So if they're saying they're opening it for peace, they're really opening it for war. And then I see the double-faced Janus Saturnian man face coming forward. And honestly, before that, I seen like a layer of a circus field. So I was seeing clowns come through, like a circus layer, um, tragedy and comedy, linking in a Saturnian force field, and then it's like,
Mm.
yeah, pulling through it's like it's really just a collection of um their martyrs. It's
Mm.
the skulls are their martyrs. The skulls are the persecuted. The souls are those that have passed in martyrdom, public execution, persecution, and crucifixion, Holocaust, and genocide. Is collecting. This is kind of like yeah, I see like birth certificates coming forward. There's death certificates. I see passports. I see people's like family like trees of life. Like they're handing me papers with trees of life on it as if they're just like handing them over to the Vatican. Okay, there's a seal here. There's a huge Vatican seal. Okay, I see it. It's like it definitely looks like a black overlay. Okay, I'm just tuning in here. Let's just work to release this seal where we can call any entrapped souls or spirits that are stuck up underneath the Vatican seal, that are stuck in the Vatican necropolis. We're just gonna ask that all these souls, these spirits be crossed over into the light, that to be united with Source. We just call upon the angels to clear any stuck souls in the Bardo planes, any souls stuck in trauma, any souls stuck in Vatican entrapment, Vatican deception, any souls stuck through like the Crusades, all souls that have been wrongfully executed according to their belief. Okay, it's a lot of sorrow around the loss of sovereignty. This is really, okay, releasing all sorrow from the loss of sovereignty from the Vatican, just allowing ourselves to be instruments of transmutation and peace, to bring forth a clearing through the Vatican, to clear these doors before any rituals are performed in such satanic ways. We just call upon the revelation of the Christed heart. I'm seeing the 144,000 come forward, and I'm hearing the words that we are meant to be witnesses as the 144,000, that we are like reporting this back to like I'm seeing it run back into like the judgment day, and like the like this is just like it's the deception, like the Saturnian illusion, the fear of God, the wrath of God, the envy of God, the jealousness of the old alien gods just collapsing down, all negative intentions and nefarious agendas upon humanity at this gate site, calling forth redemption and clarity, calling a call to the organic ways of sovereignty and life and existence for all life on the earth, for trickery to be stopped now, for hatred to be stopped now, deception to be stopped now, to transmute this all into harmony, unity, and light. And we so sovereignly call this for and request this from the divine.
Mm. And I'm just seeing these cosmic crystalline waves just washing over those skulls that you mentioned, just clearing and cleansing and bringing them back to their organic template. Very purifying.
Yeah, just requesting the holy war to subside. Calling forth a complete reclamation or like a complete recalibration and clearing of the Abrahamic bloodlines. Calling this forth through the ascended master El Moria to clear all warfare in all the three Abrahamic religions. This just feels so significant with this. Like as I even say this, it's like it's just going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into the soul of humanity, working to clear patriarchal division on the masculine universal tree of life within the planet.
Mm. And I'm commanding for the clearing of all worship and idolatry of that which is not organic, that which is not divine, that which is not Mother, Father, God. Releasing the guilt around that, releasing any shame, any regret. Feeling these strong codes of unity just flooding into the planet.
See us being almost granted like the key of the Vatican. Like it's like I just see the like a big golden key coming forward and it's telling us to like unlock the Vatican itself, like unlock its rituals, unlock its um like fear programs, unlock its strangulation on innocent souls. Um and I'm being taken into the Roman Empire. Caesar, Julius, I'm hearing Mussolini, Hitler. Okay, wow, it's like unlocking their yeah, where they're like lo it's like their power is locked behind the gates. Their power is locked behind the doors in the Vatican. Like these rulers in which were like dictatorial predator rulers, power-seeking rulers, um, death-driven rulers. Um, yeah, oh my gosh. Okay, now it's taking me to King of Solomon or going down to the Temple Mount. Okay, yeah, whatever's occurring here with these ritual, it's run into Temple Mount. I'm just gonna plug it in. Yep, that brings us back to the Archangel Michael ley line. But yeah, it's the rituals meant to send like their transmission here or their, I guess, agenda, you could say. It's connected. Okay, let's move down. You know what? Let's see ourselves just clearing more as we work down. Let's ride down that Archangel Michael ley line as if we can just like, we're just riding through the blue light. Let's call forth the sword of truth. Let's call forth the scales of justice. Call forth the cosmic like contract clearings, bloodline warfare clearings, and just clear this as we move down through the Archangel Michael ley line and move our way down to the Temple Mount.
I'm just seeing a lot of blood, just rivers of blood just pouring.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
Yeah, we're releasing something here.
yeah. There's a lot here. Okay, everyone, just I need you guys to shield up, bless up, call in the angels. Everything that you guys can do on your end right now to just really just see if we can create this shield of light between me and Noko and everyone watching today. Thank you 100 years from now for the donation. We appreciate it. Um, yeah, let's just all really call in just the highest divine assistance from Source Universe. Um, I just see as I wow, it's like we have to clear the wow, it's like the deception of the angels too. There's something with this that's needing to be repaired and plugged back in. It's almost, and as we wrote down that Archangel Michael ley line, I almost seen that the from Ireland going down to the Vatican, going down to the Temple Mount, that a lot of this was actually severed from the future. A lot of this is actually severed from New Earth. A lot of this is severed from the higher timelines. Um, Even though it's not, like it's all working out like in the greater scale of everything, but there's like all these density locks that are they almost look like rubber or tar. And I think this is a part of the seal, is it's like they're sealing it off. The density is just so thick that it can't, it's severing um the true heart of humanity from the intentions and the rituals and the core of um where the Vatican reversal gate system is residing. So it just, I see all these fractured astral cords and all this severing of consciousness working our way down to this. So it's like, and as we go down to the Temple Mount, I seen like like layers and layers and layers were going deeper and deeper and deeper into that severing from true harmony, from true peace, from true the law of one and unity amongst humanity. So I'm not surprised you've seen the rivers of blood. No, go. Wow, because it's like the deeper we go under that layer of that density lock, it just takes us deeper into the sacrifice of human blood. And I almost see like value here. Like this is the value of life. This is the gold elixir of life. This is the chalice of mercy. This is the chalice of the Holy Grail. I see the Holy Grail cup coming forward over the Temple Mount. Oh my gosh. And I just hear all these like screams and cries for this to end, for the war to end, for peace to come, for I hear mothers, I hear all kinds of chanting. Like I hear the cries and the screams of mothers of their children. Um,
Mm.
I have to take a minute with this now because it's just flooding around my field.
And I'm just calling in the gold frequency to really inundate those rivers of blood. Just really purify and uplift and cleanse and clear those channels, just filled with pure divine source.
Yeah, collapsing down all density locks over the Temple Mount, all black electrical currents coming up and around as frequency fences around the Temple Mount, all blockages disallowing birthrights, all blockages disallowing um, peace between brotherhood lines, collapse and dissolve all blockages here, collapse and dissolve, collapse and dissolve, collapse and dissolve. Buffer and tune out all disruptive frequencies, all negative devices and torture devices, war machines, beast machines. Collapse and dissolve, collapse and dissolve, collapse and dissolve. The angels of humanity do not consent, and we rebuke, we rebuke, we rebuke, and we redirect all harmful energies.
And something's coming through here on Queen Elizabeth II. There's something here, the connection to The Vatican.
Wow, draconian rule.
Mm.
Well, we know we're in a draconian nest right now. We know this is like the Draco capital of the world, essentially.
There's a strong feeling of the puppeteering, as you said, and this clearing of the veil, this clearing of, all of these rituals and all of this spell work, all of this only works if we consent to it, if we are participating in it. And so there's something here releasing on a large scale for people to remove the hands from their eyes, from their ears, from their mouth.
Wow.
Yeah, there's
Yes, yes,
and
yes.
there's almost like a sense of humor. Like I almost can feel I feel like God laughing. Like it's that simple. Like it's all just a facade. And so just
Yeah. Let's just see ourselves collapsing down the illusions, collapsing down the trickery, collapsing down the Saturnian stronghold on our planet. We do not consent and we extract all Saturn interplanetary invasion of the Earth's organic consciousness, all artificial realities and timelines. Um, the spike matrix collapse and dissolve. The internal artificial planetary beast machines collapse and dissolve. Um, just clearing and collapsing down satellite warfare, AI warfare, and the looming timelines and realities fueled through the holy wars, collapse and dissolve, collapse and dissolve, collapse. I'm just dissolving. I'm collapsing and calling out to whatever it is I see because it's like I just want to dissolve all like stuck energy in all the places in which we can kind of move it and shift it. Wow, you're so right with the moving or moving. Yeah, it's just like you see, like, as soon as you said that, I seen like legions and nations and upon legions, upon stacked on top of each other, like the Tower of Babel with all of their eyes and ears covered and all being led to like a slaughterhouse. And then it's like taking me back to the skulls up underneath the Vatican, and it's like I think it's telling us to honor honor the past, honor the dead, recognize the sacrifice for who we are and where we are. Um, but then I see a clearing coming through, like reversal codes coming through honor, like as if there is some sort of like negative force that's like kills in the sense of honor or mutilates in the sense of honor or rapes in the sense of honor or sacrifices children in the sense of honor and just yeah asking that all these destruction and distortion lenses be cleansed and cleared through the heart of the Temple Mount, through the heart of the of King of Solomon, cleansing this down through the well of the Temple Mount and all of the singing. Okay, yeah. So I went down into the well of the Temple Mount and I just seen a lot of song being sang through this intent to like literally mind control. Like it was coming through the children, like the children were being sang mind control lullabies. The children were being like almost like leading to hangings, leading to like the reversal honor killing. Um it's like we have to restore the mother template here, restore the mother mitochondria, restore the warfare against the mother. There's definitely like yeah, a lot of oppression of the mother force here and the protection of the children.
Yeah,
This
and
is like,
I'm getting an interesting connection here that I'd never thought about. The connection of Christianity and democracy and, you know, what's right and just and freedom. It seems like they've really aligned themselves into that realm again because they utilize everything that way. They say that they're doing things for good and then it's the opposite, right? So just an interesting little seed there that came out with this connection of, you know, maybe I'm really feeling like a clearing of that, calling in a clearing and dissolving of this connection between, you know, freedom, democracy, and Christianity or any religion for that matter. You know, seeing these as separate entities and really cutting that cord very strongly.
wow, okay. I see us going back with like our feathers, our dove feathers, our swan feathers, our eagle feathers. And as soon as I touched the eagle feather, it was like I seen corrosion and corruption around the eagle's body. So purifying the eagle's flight, the eagle eye, purifying the eagle's heart, purifying the celestial faction of Aquila, dismantling this from the draconian warlords on the planet, collapse and dissolve, restoring the purity of the eagle's intent on the planet, taking our feathers and just cleansing all the places where the cords and division between democracy, and religion and countries, division and borders, collapsing division and borders, and all contention around all separation, all godly and earthly, just warfare fueled by differentiations of consciousness. We're just taking the feather and cutting the cords, the division. You guys can be visualizing this with us, just be going through this with us, assist us with this. Make sure you're shielded.
Mm. Now I've got the
Yeah.
serpent coming through, the serpent and the eagle. Mm.
Oh wow. Yep, I can see it in like in his talons. And then I got taken to a fuchsia. Restoring the gate of a fuchsia. Releasing. Okay, this is why I said I seen angelic warfare coming into this because they are, it's like, yeah, the Draco lines, they have basically distorted the Seraphim soul lines. They're distorting the Serpent soul lines. They're basically hijacking their genetic code, tapped into it for resources because they needed the Seraphim um, genetic and soul body bloodline to basically run the Force Breeder programs on Earth. They couldn't do it without the Seraphim soul template. So it's like this is where the crux is. This is the first act of crucifixion on the planet. Wow, yeah, this is taking me all the way back to Lemuria.
And
It's like,
it's bringing me right to our Gridwork mission in Arkansas that day when we saw that tree that looked very much like a cross, and you were doing work there in regards to, right, going to some of these locations that have the crucifixion.
oh wow, okay, yep. It's really just, yeah, we're going deeper into the heart of persecution. Um, all acts and all forms of crucifixion and persecution in all timelines, all incarnations, all existences within the humanitarian soul monadic field. Just cleanse and aid all painful areas within the soul collective monadic field. Just bring assistance and reassurance into these places and dissolve all crucifixion and persecution against humanity for their color, their kind, their creed, their religion, their belief, all hatred here, dissolving this. Cleanse and dissolve, cleanse and dissolve, cleanse and dissolve. Yeah, we really need to see ourselves threading this together as collective humanity, kind of restoring and rebuilding the bridges in which have been burned. It looks like a lot of burned bridges. It looks like a lot of bombs. It looks like a lot of like dystopian realms that have they basically look like what's that movie, Mad Max? I see like a lot of Earths that look like Mad Max.
Mhm.
A lot of annihilation and war to the point of complete destruction, like here. And it's almost like hanging over our head, like in the monadic field. So it's just like we need to clear this from our memory records as like within the reversal patterning. Okay, restoring all reversal patterning into destruction dystopian worlds, correcting the flower of life patterning here, spinning everything into the direction of life. Okay, upgrading the seed atom here. Okay, we're getting down into the Metatronic. Seed atom. Okay, and just removing the Metatronic seed atom and the destruction of this from the core of the memory of life within all of humanity, removing it for the highest good, the greatest good, and for the highest restoration of mankind. And I see as I'm pulling it out, it's literally like turning into a shield, as if it's almost like dissolving and then like, I don't know, it's like turning into like like a protective field, like where it's almost like going into the firmament.
Mm. And this is bringing me to seeing just all this rainbows, rainbow warriors, rainbow bridges, like as like this is part of the rainbow prophecy is this seed, this what you're speaking of. Sheet.
Running the rainbow bridge light codes through all broken and annihilated bridges, resurrecting cooperation, co-harmony, co-creation. The remembrance of this, we have to go down into the Kashik memory field of humanity and reinsert the memory of co-creation and cooperation. Wow, and I seen that as soon as you said Rainbow Bridge, it took me right down into the records.
And those of us that are here as Rainbow Warriors, this is going to be like 2025 is gonna just pop off in regards to the co-creation and yeah, remembering who we are and that it is really the simple that we are we are who we're looking for right now, right? We are our own saviors in that way. But it requires this unification, across and that requires a lot of cutting through ego and cutting through shadow and some of these past traumas that we may have, buried.
As you said that, I was seeing like a golden root system that, like, as a group, we are extending our roots down and through the Temple Mount. It's like, and it's like a mother golden root tree system. I see us pulling it up from Uluru, the mother arcing sites on the planet. We're pulling it up from the Devil's Tower, Mato Tapila, her root systems. We're pulling it up through um, I'm getting like all of the sacred fertility sites on the planet, all of the sacred union and marriage sites on the planet, all of the sacred um, stargates and the vortices. Like we're pulling this root system of the Divine Mother's universal tree of life and running these golden roots down and through the Temple Mount, like rerooting the Temple Mount in purity, rerooting the Temple Mount in the golden universal tree of life and repatterning that. It's like we have to flush the universal tree of life from the Temple Mount, recorrect all of the Stargate spheres that have been hijacked, expanding this through the layers, expanding this through the blood codes and the blood rivers, expanding this through the spheres and dimensions of all human existence and portals and gateways, even the gate of man. Through coming through our fuchsias, running this all the way down through, and we have to root deeper up underneath the Temple Mount. We have to go deeper, all the way in, as deep as we can possibly see these roots going, and anchor ourselves into the spirit of the earth and pull this back up into the Temple Mount and regenerate the Temple Mount with these codes. Upgrade, upgrade, upgrade. Just visualize us anchoring this new regenerated golden universal tree of life up through the Temple Mount that can override the war codes. We can override the death and destruction, override the precipice of World War III, override the circus realms and the Saturnian clowns, override genetic tampering and desecration, override temple desecration, override, override, override. Regenerate new universal tree of life codes for all of humanity. And as I go deeper into that, it's like I get to this contention pool still, where I'm still hearing the cry of the woman. I'm still hearing the cry of the mother as we're going deeper into this. It's like we have to go deeper and override feminine oppression. Yeah, I see the roots going into the womb of humanity, and it's like the have you ever seen a placenta, how it has like the veiny things? Like I see it going into the veins of the placenta of the planet.
Mm.
Okay, releasing the patriarchal stronghold over the feminine on the planet, pulling out the feminine crucifixion crux, pulling it out of the Temple Mount. Just see us reaching in like our hands and pulling this like feminine crucifixion, like, yeah, ropey. It's like a rope. It's like a, I can't even like this tentacle. We're just pulling this out like, female, binding, female, death and desecration, female abuse, female oppression, um, female loss of human rights. Extracting this out of the Temple Mount, extracting this out of the Anunnaki gene code, extracting this out of the Draco reptilian gene code, extracting the King of Tyranny implants out of the Temple Mount. Oh my gosh, that one felt huge. That one went right down to my womb, just like shot through like all this grief that started to release and unlock. Yeah, just clearing more deeper layers of, it's like these seven holy sins, like lust, greed, hate, envy, gluttony. You said earlier, Noko, idolatry, clearing the sins from the Temple Mount, clearing clearing the Antichrist force from the Temple Mount. Oh my gosh, just pulling it out. We do not consent to the Antichrist. We do not consent. We do not consent. We rebuke, we rebuke, we rebuke this on behalf of the highest good of all humankind on the earth. Yeah, I just feel like I have to lift my hands up. Like I have to pull this up from the crown, release it from the body.
Mm. And the wind here just started going crazy while we've been working on this. Just bringing big clearing.
Calling in the angels of wind, calling in the angels of water, calling in the angels of earth. Calling in the angels of the ether to clear all etheric planes. Calling in the highest angels of the seraphim to soul rescue the lower and hijacked realms of the seraphim lines stuck in lower, middle, and inner earth. Cleanse and clear this through all dimensions, through all seraphim crystal cities. Alleviate all blockages and passageways here. And clear the seraphim line through the Temple Mount fully and restore. Let's see, I'm just looking over to the comments here for just a moment. Gabby Douglas, organized religion is a karma trap. Don't worship anyone outside of yourself. You will have your soul loose. Only praise yourself. Once you do this, you can revere, respect others. You are God's. This is a test for you. Yeah, reclaim your I am presence. Reclaim your God, I am. Reclaim your co-creatorship. Yeah, reclamate, reclamate now. Upgrade, upgrade, upgrade. Alexander, the sword of truth as the fading of the cries fade to stardust. Cobalt blue, aqua green, red, white, firewater. My grandpa tells me he, Asclepius, the Greek god of healing. Mom is Epion, goddess of pain relief. Wow. Yeah, bring in the god and the gods of pain relief. That's exactly it. Oh, taking it into the lungs, taking it into the Amazon rainforest. Moon warrior, that triggers everyone else to heal once the end game phase. Clearing the Georgia Guidestones. Much love, goddess speed, aho. God shield, activate, calling on in Condor to rise above the eagle. Oh, wonderful, Alexander. Thank you for bringing that in. Yes, Condor. Lady Jefferson, strong work. Calling in Rainbow Tribe, one Thunderbird to bring the false serpent KO. Alliance Dark plus Illusion Matrix Complex. Gratitude, Star Family. Gratitude to you as well. Thank you for joining us for this. You know, this isn't like an easy place to tap into. You know what I mean? This is definitely a place in which I think you have to have a level of maybe clearance, right, to work here a little bit, because it's like, we've been working on this gate system for a long time, actually. This is one place that, I mean, between the Temple Mount and the Vatican, we've been pretty consistently working to extract, working to just any way that we can see that we can assist the codes that are coming in, right? Like it's been a focal point for some time. I feel good kind of what we just did there at the Temple Mount. How are you feeling, Noko?
Yeah, I feel amazing. And I just wanted to share as we were going through some of that. Well, towards the end, when you were doing all the purifying and everything, I just kept getting all these. It was like so synchronistic. I kept getting all these, purification water and then water again and then rainmaker. So what we were doing was really working. It was really working. It was really connecting in with that rejuvenation of all those lines. And I could see the lines being rejuvenated. It was really a breath of fresh air to my soul to witness that. And
Oh,
something that came up that I really wanted to share was this when we were talking about Rainbow Warriors, the heart of sky. And you can see the rainbow kind of in the card, but I've never seen this card. And so I wanted to kind of see if it's okay, I'd like to read it to you guys because I think it's really pertinent with our mission and what we're doing together. It says, the heart of sky is the love force that made all creation possible. This same force is present when you create with originality, when you bring formlessness to form or inspired ideas to expression. This primeval force does not know good or bad. It is up to us to provide the clear intention that will guide it to manifest. The heart of sky helps us call in beauty from the invisible world and birth it in the world of matter. The heart of sky brings you a sacred reminder. You are a channel for the original energy of creation. Become the paintbrush, the canvas, and the artist, all guided by the heart of sky. Set your intention ethically and clearly and allow the universe to take care of the details. So it was just exactly what I was witnessing, seeing the Rainbow Warriors coming together and utilizing their tools, their abilities to co-create, to collaborate, and help to bring more truth, help to bring more healing, help to bring these codes of purification and restoration. And so I'm just honored to be here doing this work with y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys. We got a lot of hearts going right now. Woo! Yeah, put a like on this video too, guys, and share it out as well. So, I mean, because we kind of continue to, I think, as more people tune in, even if they didn't catch us live today, they can still, join this clearing. So yeah, if you found it to be helpful, you guys make sure to send it out and share it because, you know, we do have so many amazing grid workers at this time, like taking up and stepping into these roles of trying to work on, it's difficult. Oh, let's just put it this way. It's not easy for us to be like, go right into the core of where all the war is happening and be like, let's work on this grid. It's like it's a very delicate dance of kind of working with these energies and trying to, because you're tapping into your own high morality codes. You're tapping into your own integral fields also to anchor and to call forth, because it's really in divine's will for what is meant to be happening. But I do feel that this is meant for us as we come into the winter solstice because 21st tomorrow is the solstice. So we're carrying this clearing into the solstice. That's going to carry us into this ritual that's taking place at the Vatican. And hopefully it buffers out, the negative and we preemptively, preluded, have cleared and foreseen some of the destructive codes that we're going to run. So hopefully we cleared that. Um, but I kind of just want to wrap things up. Like I still feel like I'm a little half in and half out. So I just want to kind of connect back into the Mediterranean waters. I was really getting to see us to kind of go over to Kauai, Hawaii, and connect into the Nepali coast, connect into the stairways to heaven. Really, let's saturate ourselves in the beauty of the rainbow bridge and the rainbow codes and the rainbow warrior light. I see it really coming from this 144,000 rescue guardian stargate calling forth the emerald lava, the emerald covenant, the emerald codes, the emerald heart, the emerald activations, the emerald frequency of eternal unconditional love. Whew, that feels big. And let's just bring this over as angels flying across the Atlantic. And we are really anchoring this emerald code, this emerald consciousness into the Mediterranean Sea and just let it upgrade and flood these waters with the source unconditional love codes for all humanity, all children of light. Okay, all people, all kinds, all religions, all nations. Again, dissolving the contention and the separation, bringing us into a one unified field of divine unconditional love, and just activate these Mediterranean waters with us. Feel this clearing go through the waters. This is the one way that we can reach all places of the land. We can reach Rome from here. We can reach the Temple Mount in Israel, Gaza. We can reach Egypt, Syria, Lebanon, all of these countries that are really just clearing the pain body, going into the source of grief, loss, pain, sorrow, hatred, anger, just clearing these emotions, clearing it through the waters, clearing it through our blood, clearing it through our universal tree of life, clearing it through the roots of this implanted universal golden mother tree that we just ran through the Temple Mount to see the waters from the Mediterranean just activate in this eternal unconditional love, opening the gates of eternity for all life. Upgrade, upgrade, upgrade. Okay, clearing again and releasing. All of the Luciferian geometries are running, buffering these out, neutralizing these, harmony these back into source, back into wholeness, back into the truth that serves the highest good of the earth and humanity. Yeah, and just expanding this out, kind of like a bubble that's going around all of these Stargate vortices, and just really see that cleanse the draconic stargates of the earth, clearing the Draco seals from the earth, clearing the J seals from the earth, clearing the masculine implant system from the earth, clearing the feminine implant system from the earth, clearing the forced breeder programs from the earth, clearing the hybridization traumas and programs from the earth, clearing the mind control programs from the earth, clearing the holy wars from the earth. Cleanse and dissolve, cleanse and dissolve, cleanse and dissolve. Fortifying, renew humanity's peaceful coexistence codes. Oh, I see the resurrection of the swan coming through the waters. Just really anchoring the Cygnus light through the Mediterranean waters. Feels so good, doesn't it? Feels so good, you guys. Oh, we all needed this today. Wow, we all needed this today. Really. Okay, and let's just see ourselves coming out of this grid. Let's see ourselves coming out of this remote view, just kind of coming back to our own individual energy fields and light body field. Just do some checking and balancing here. Just as you guys tuned in with us, if you see or feel anything as you're kind of coming out in it that you feel could be like stuck or connected to your energy, just take a second to really see yourself detaching from the work that we did. That's simply all you have to do is just detach all energy cords that you felt as you were connecting in, detach, and you're just coming back to rawness. You're coming back to being just bare and with the presence of your own spirit and your own heart and your own soul and your own mind and your own consciousness. You're reclaiming that sovereignty and the ownership of your own divine command and your own will to purify your field. And then let's just also, last but not least, let's just do a gentle chakra clearing. So through your pillar of light, connecting into the eternal divine source love fields, just see that beautiful radiant golden sphere right above your crown chakra, emanating the golden God consciousness, Mother, Father, God, divine feminine, divine masculine, Christ, everything radiating through this beautiful divine light and sphere, drawing it down through our crown. And we're just going to cleanse and clear, expand it out, down to the third eye, cleanse and clear, expand it out, down to the throat, cleanse and clear, expand it out, down to the heart, cleanse and clear, expand it out, down to the solar plexus, cleanse and clear, expand it out, down to the sacral, cleanse and clear, expand it out, down to the root, cleanse and clear, expand it out. Take it down through the universal tree of life, run it down and through. Just amplify, amplify, amplify. Harmonize, harmonize, harmonize. Upgrade, upgrade, upgrade. Restore and balance. Okay, wow. Whew. And we're back. We're back in this dimension. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Oh man, thank you, Noko, for joining me on the fly, sister.
You're so
I'm so happy that you were here with me.
welcome. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was divine, that's how it always goes, right?
Yes. It's how it goes.
Like we have a
Uh,
plan and then there's a divine plan, and usually the divine plan is way better than we could have ever imagined.
truly, truly. And I'm just so happy that you were able to like go to the depths, right? And then we can just bring it back in. Yep.
I mean,
It's
You chose the right angel here because this girl's been sitting in the belly of the beast, hanging out in the CDC many years ago, doing all that work. So I'm pretty well versed in dark places. So it's all good.
Yeah. Well, we were weaving. We were weavers. We were like out, in, out. Yeah, that's how it goes.
That's how life is supposed to be. I mean, that's a perfect example, right? Gotta weave. Mhm.
Yeah, so I think overall we should definitely yeah, maybe some crystal grids on the Vatican for, you know, this upcoming thing. Like
Mm.
that can be really effective, you guys. Actual crystal grids if you have a map and, you know, be selective with the crystals that you choose, have intent for what things, you know, you're going to be clearing according to whatever, you know, grid you're building. Um, you know, if you want to expand the energy, you create circles around the location that you're wanting to work on. And then if you want to create structure and like help reorder or help rebalance things according to, um, I think like universal laws, you would create like squares or like more rigid structures around it. But, you know, um, I think the best thing is kind of having the circles. I think especially for the upcoming events on Christmas Eve, that I think maybe concentric circles and formations where the crystals can clear uh, more intricately the ley lines around the Vatican, because I think this is what we need. We need like more of like a 360-degree um, anchoring the organic crystal consciousness, the Kristalla consciousness, the Christ consciousness. I think maybe some nice, uh, you know, clear quartz, citrine. I'm getting amethyst, um, and some malachite, the heart chakra, the heart consciousness of humanity and the planet. So if you guys can do something like that over Christmas, I think that might be pretty helpful in the grid worker dimension of things.
Mm. I love that idea.
All right, guys. Well, we're tapping out. Thank you so much for joining us. Gabby says, I'm rewatching this. You know what? I'm going to go back and rewatch it too, because, like, what did we even say? I was like, you know what I mean? How you're in the moment. Yeah, I'd like to see, because I'll probably get some new things that come back through. So,
Mhm.
yeah, guys, thank you for joining us. Thank you, Noko. Have a beautiful everything, guys. Namaste and take care.
One
Okay, I think we should.